Is this the Rookie CEO podcast?
Yeah, I think we're in the right place.
Oh, Hev, it's recording. This is Fuzz.
And I'm Heath, and you're listening to the Rookie CEO podcast.
Today we're joined again by Ben from your video team, and we're going to be discussing and talking about adapting your business around your lifestyle, because I think this is something that you've done over the last 13 years, believe it or not, Ben. It blew your mind earlier.
Oh my goodness.
When you told me 2013 was the year you went self-employed.
Yeah.
And that was as a photographer, did you say?
Photographer, yeah. I thought I'll do some weddings, that'd be easy.
And that is similar, but it's just moving images. It's moving
Yeah.
photography. So we'd love to understand really your story. What's changed between 2013 and 2026 we're in? Jeez. This could be going out in 2027, depending on how quickly I edit this podcast.
I would have hopefully sold the business by then.
But yeah, we'd love to hear your story. So what triggered your... Normally it's redundancy. If you tell me redundancy, that'll be amazing, because everyone today...
Yeah, everyone today. We were saying it seems to be a bit of a catalyst. It's something horrendous goes wrong, and then people end up going and often doing whatever.
So what made you go straight into photography?
So, good question. I'm going to think about the answer.
Give us a minute, guys.
Despite the fact I lived it was a long time ago. So, in 2012, my son was born. That's right. I've got a 13-year-old now.
Wow.
Don't.
You're always starting to cry, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I was only young, but yeah, and coincide. We got married in 2011, but on the way back from our honeymoon, we were in the airport for a couple of hours. And we had some money, so I bought a camera, and I thought, I'll take up a bit of photography as a fun. Didn't touch the camera for 6-7 months or so, and we then got pregnant. We got pregnant. My wife got pregnant. I just 5 minutes was a bit of a hand, but Rachel got pregnant, and then our son was born at the end of 2012, and then I picked up the camera and took 1,000 photos in a day. I was like, this thing that I'm staring at for 12 hours and just snapping photos of it, and then somebody was like, why don't you do a course and then maybe start doing a job? You seem to really enjoy photography. I was like, I love photography. It's amazing. I could do that. So I done a course.
It's all happened in a day.
Yeah, but that's kind of felt that quick.
Wow.
It was, so he was born at the end of December. My birthday's at the end of January, and I can tell you it was on my birthday that they were like, why don't you just go into photography? You seem to be loving it. I've worked in hospitality since I was 16 before then, which I can't even do the maths on how many years that was. But it was just something that fired me up, and I took photos of him, then started taking photos of other things. Obviously, Logan growing up, but just started. I used to be a real nerd and like looking at birds, so I started trying to take photos of
Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, twitching. I used to be able to know what birds were and I was like, I could take photos of this, and then I was like, I don't have the right lens for this. I have to buy some equipment. I've got to fund it, but it kind of all became this hobby that turned into a business. So I started off. I thought, weddings, do loads of photos, get lots of practice in, be nice and easy, nice and relaxed day. Is it? No, it's not. It
Almost sort of. Saved that one.
It was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. Stressful throughout, worried that I was going to miss everything, was too scared to speak up if I thought I was missing something. But by the end of the day, I was like, this was incredible. I loved it. Got to do something I enjoyed doing. Didn't have any sort of pain in the side. Customers, just went there, took photos, saw people enjoy the happiest day of their life. Brilliant. And then done my next wedding, got a bit more confident. Done my next wedding, got a lot more confident. Then third or fourth wedding in, I'm like, well, you didn't do a proper kiss there, guys. Come on, let's get this first kiss right. Do it again.
It's funny how confidence can come out of that.
Yeah. And then, but after a couple of years of doing that, so that's 2013 to 2015, I was like, photos are great, but I don't see anyone filming it. And I had my wedding filmed, and it's one thing that we did. We look at that probably more than we look at the photos.
Yeah.
So yes, having printed photos, having an album is lovely, but hearing people who had passed from the wedding, people who were no longer there, but hearing their voices again, seeing them celebrate, being part of
that
those
evolved
kind of things.
as a business, didn't it? And during this, I'm assuming you still had just one child, did you?
So 2014 we had our second.
Okay.
So
Wow, don't make it easy for yourself. So was you a full-time photographer at this point?
no, I was still working in hospitality. I
Okay.
worked into hospitality right up to 2017. So I had a full-time job doing photography and filming around that. Just weddings, which in hospitality, when you have a weekend off, they hate it because they're the busiest days of the week. But
So what was the trigger point when you started thinking, right, I'm going to start adapting my business to spending more time with my family?
so that all came about through COVID.
Oh, through COVID.
COVID was busy. So I became fully self-employed in 2017 through just there was a number of things that like depression and stuff like that turning up to something you're
We need
like
to have a depression episode.
I hate people now.
Yeah.
Not I don't
You
like
were married,
it,
was you married?
but yeah.
I thought you were getting envy of everyone that was getting married around you.
No, I like photographing wedding stuff. I absolutely loved it. Filming them was magical. Being part of people. Rachel started an events company where she started doing like event planning as well.
Oh, wow.
So we had this whole life, but we also had jobs as well. Rachel was a police officer. I was in hospitality, working in restaurants, working at Pizza Hut, and like some of the people that came into Pizza Hut, just horrid.
Yeah.
Some people that I really liked and loved and enjoyed their time and would talk to them for days, but
Of
some
course.
people
It's not your ideal client.
not my ideal
But
client.
this is why I left hairdressing, because I loved hairdressing and I was really good at it, but it was some of the people were
you
just
can
so awful.
choose who you work with until you
Yeah.
go self-employed.
And then it's some of the people you work with, not just the customers who just
Yeah.
I went 2 years without a complaint from customers, and then one customer came in. I was like, I know I'm going to get a complaint from you because you're that kind of person. And they complained, and I was like, I'm done with this managing a restaurant stuff. I'll step back and go in the kitchen and do that. And then the manager then was just horrid human. So you're just doing it wrong. I can't do this anymore. I'm going.
I'm a photographer, leave me alone.
Yeah, I need to be artistic. But yeah, that's it. I'm going. And just walked out.
So what was your first sort of like, what did you produce from this opportunity? Obviously you were a photographer and a videographer at this point, were you both?
Yeah.
How did you go from full-time employment to I've got to turn this part-time videography business into a full-time?
Cool.
Did
What
you
was
make
the
any
first thing?
changes? Did you?
In all honesty, we had support. Like Universal Credit supported us.
Okay, nice.
Like it's surprising how like being on a full-time job and having a business and still needing that kind of support, but that did support us to help us get through the early stages of it. But was it scary? Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah,
With 2 kids and stuff like that. But we had, I'm trying to think how we done it. We just done more of the same thing.
Yeah.
We just
dialed up to 11.
Yeah, done more of the same thing and went for it, met more people, done more events, like wedding events and stuff like that. But then come 2020, that all changed. It all stopped. Where we had 1 month and took 12 quid.
Wow.
In a month. And we're trying to feed a family of 4.
Yeah.
One child being...
That's a lot of Freddos, isn't it?
Yeah, well, having an 8 and a 6-year-old trying to...
That's crazy.
Keep yourself going. So yeah, things like that support. But then it came to a point where I started doing events at hotels just before COVID, like their Christmas events and stuff like that. And Coca-Cola had one at the hotel that I was at, and I'd done their photos. And then as COVID was coming about, they asked me if I can do any sort of video stuff. I was like, yeah, I can do videos. What do you need? Like, we need training videos because we now need to be COVID safe.
Amazing where sometimes everything happens for a reason. It's got to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and so they needed to be COVID safe. I was a trainer in the restaurants that I worked in Pizza Hut. I was like, I understand training. I can do video. I can make people work in a safe environment. That is fine. So they asked me. They then went, okay, here's $2,500 for doing it. Thank you very much. On the day that I filmed it, they're like, we need to do this. Yeah, when do you need it? Next week. Okay, I'll be there. And then $2,500 was in my bank account.
Wow.
I was like, holy crap, this
Yeah.
is amazing. Like, they've paid me. I haven't got to wait months
Also,
on end to
from
do
a
it.
big company, that's quite unusual as well. Normally,
no,
it's like
not-
30 or 60 day.
No, Coca-Cola, the senior management team had cards where they can spend up to 10 grand on it. I was like, well, I'm now £9,000. Thank you very much.
You can give 1,000 to yourself.
Yeah, it's probably not like that anymore.
No, of
but
course. Probably 20,000.
Have you done
now.
any ongoing work with them, or just?
I
have
did
things
for a
changed?
bit. So I helped them with like comms throughout the business. They then opened up and done a big event where we done like a comedy skit with the site manager, the general manager on site, where he was not at the meeting. So we done like a comedy sketch going through Sidcup to Maidstone and that journey there, which was quite fun to do. But yeah,
that was the milestone. That was a trigger point when you go, right, we're going to go commercial now.
We're gonna go
'Cause
commercial.
You got paid, not cash now, but you got paid on the day.
Yep.
It was a much quicker turnover, and you feel
Yeah.
like this is going to adapt my lifestyle because the cash flow, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yep, and everything was structured as well. Like, a wedding is fantastic and magical, but when you're filming it and you're trying to make the highlights out of it, you're going, what did I film? What happened at this time? What happened at that point? As much as you know when the ceremony is and they're getting in dresses and all that sort of thing,
Yeah.
you've still got to find that footage to make the content where you go, this is structured, this is how we're filming it, at this time I filmed this, and copy and paste. I did end up being the voice on it as well. Like,
Oh, nice.
they went, this is the script. I was like, okay, I'm going to record the voiceover just to be like, this is how long the video is roughly going to be. So I knew. And they went,
Hey Hev, have you heard of IT Manager Services? They're an IT support service based in Kent.
Yeah, I've been with them for over a year now. I love being able to just call them at any point and they take over my computer and fix the issue so much quicker than spending hours on Google.
Why have you kept that to yourself all this time? Right, I need to sign up to these guys. What's their website?
It's it-ms.co.uk, or you can call 01634 218 362.
that voice is great. No one here wants to volunteer and do it, so we're just going to use that. Thank you very much.
That's crazy. I've
So-
charged them more than I was charging double.
But
So now you're the voice of Coca-Cola. You can say that. That should be on your LinkedIn bio.
for the health and safety. But yeah, then I got in touch with a cybersecurity company who's started going hybrid, done their onboarding videos, some case studies, some training videos, and ongoing with them for a while. And then was like, that's great, but I still felt employed.
Yeah.
So then we kind of went, let's just
Let's
try
get
and
a
do.
build in and let's get them to come to us.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, and that's all grown. And the weddings were, like I say, were great. But my kids, by the time COVID was over, which I loved the lockdown stuff, like being with them, spending time with the family.
Sounds like that was the point where you were like, right, family is now my priority.
Yeah, growing up with the boys for that 18 months, nearly 2 years, was
Say growing
magic.
up, you were homeschooling.
Yeah. Education of life. That's what it was. But I also had my appendix burst right before COVID happened as well.
Oh my God.
So I nearly died.
Did you
as
cause
well.
COVID?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Are you okay now, I'm assuming?
Yeah, all good now. I don't have an appendix anymore. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to cause me a problem. If I've got a stomachache now, then panic.
Yeah.
But so loads of things happened at that point. But growing up, having the boys grow up for those 18 months and spending time with them,
Yeah.
when it came to being able to do weddings, I was like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
And I've done 2, 3 since COVID, and again, loved them, but they were weekday weddings for starters. I want my weekends for the kids,
Yeah.
and they paid me a load of money to do it.
It's amazing, I think, isn't it? Because when you do start your business, you do have to put 100% into it, 100%. Like, it's just, you just have to do that. But then once you start seeing these, right, if I want to continue doing what I'm doing, let's just say wedding photography, you have to take into consideration now, right, I have to go to these wedding fairs. Take that into consideration of your time. And that time, like, you should be paid for. So theoretically, you add that to your bill, really. Like, that's your business plan. You're not going to be paid for, not doing anything.
Just as we were talking then, like, obviously, Sam, you have got a baby on the way quite soon.
Yeah, depending on when this episode goes out. There could be 10.
Congratulations on the new baby.
How are you? So you obviously you're not going to be in the business for X amount of time. How are you preparing to pivot yourself? Or
This is now on to me.
Yeah, are you preparing?
Of course. I think the last 2 years, like, we've been trying for a little while. I hate when you say that because everyone's just imagining. Actually, I know what you mean by that.
I don't. It took seconds.
Yeah. But I've put like last year, I put everything I had into the business. And you could see that. I think you did the same. We both had burnout stages. We both put everything into it. And the reason for it, and I knew the reason for it, and it was because I wanted to be in a position where once the baby's born, I can step away. I've got all those processes in place. I've got the brand all sort of, it's well known. I've got a team around me. And I invested so much money last year. So just to put it into perspective, actually, the first year of business, which was not last year but the year before, we only took as a business 35k.
Mm-hmm.
But last year, so the year after that, my outgoings were 80k. So it just goes to show, like, the amount of investment that you put back into your business, you'll start to see.
Well, everyone wants to know how much you made by spending that 80k.
Profit-wise, about 30.
But that's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's great that you now know that you can do that.
But then this year, the profit should obviously almost triple because I've spent so much time and money into investing into the business growing.
Yeah.
I don't have to spend that again.
We must have met a year ago.
Yeah.
Must have been January last year that we met.
Probably over, I think it was over a year ago. I think it was 2024.
But was that at TMM?
TTM, yeah. The TMM?
TTM, the market meetup.
My first one, and I was talking to Helen in the previous episode. By that I mean this morning.
It better be a previous episode.
My first ever TMM was with when the Unconventional guy spoke, and I found that, what's his name, Andy?
Yeah.
I found him was talking about identifiers and stuff, and I still remember that, and I found it so insightful, and that's when I kind of fell in love with TMM and the idea behind it.
Was that the first time it must have been there that we met?
I think that was 2024.
Yeah, and we had our photo done with our four bald fellas.
Verbal, yeah. It's crazy, and I kind of.
But even from them, because you were like, I'm going to ask you this question, I'm going to ask you that question, I'm going to ask you that. Now you're like, I'm going to ask you this question, I'm going to ask you that question. Because you've had that focus, whether it's because you knew you're going to concentrate on a family or whatever, you've had that focus of going, this is what I want my business to be. And even from then it changed, because that was all your fuzzy logic stuff. Rookies come out in the last
6 months.
I remember one of your first offerings was like you did a content day, or you do content and it gets delivered within like 24 hours or something. I remember seeing an advert on iWaid.
Yeah. It's funny.
Crikey, how was he turning it around in that short amount of time?
Yeah. When I started my business, it was so. It goes back to the.
You did like tokens, didn't you? You could like do subscription tokens.
Yeah. So it was crazy how business changes. Because originally my business wasn't marketing when I started.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually more of like almost like a VA service, but more to like a higher standard to sort of like put automation systems in place where I saw the opportunity. It's almost like a VA/consultant. Yeah. And I just fell into marketing. It was so weird how it all works. But life happens.
I think a lot of stuff everything evolves from that. You know the bit that you're like, I could help somebody with this, but that's always the assumption that you can help them with that one
because
thing.
Of experience. But
you're like, I can help them with this. So when I was like, I can do photography for a wedding because I've got a camera. But it was only after a few years when I was like, actually, people don't need a photographer. There's plenty of photographers. There's a lot of photographers that are better than me out there. Yeah. But there's no one offering them a video, which is when they sit down on like getting messages and photos back from people watching their video. Yeah, was fantastic. Kind of getting the urge to do it again, but I won't.
No. But fall into the trap.
Yeah, but then going into. But the difficulty was is that you're always chasing. No one's getting married every year. No. Or ideally not. They need to be sorted out if they are.
Depends how it goes.
Yeah, but and then when it came to the business, that's when it was able to start supporting the family properly. Yeah. I didn't need to have another job because I've got customers who always need stuff.
The loyal and almost on like a retainer basis because they are having to sign up to a subscription, really, because obviously they can't just have one day in here and it will be forever. They've got a podcast. They need to keep coming. Yeah. So you've definitely sorted that side out, like 100%. Yeah.
Just like you come here once a quarter.
It's 4 times a year. So
4 times a year, once a quarter. So, but you come here with your goal in mind, and hopefully, because you're able to do that as well, you get plenty of time off when your baby is born.
Yeah, hopefully.
If they're not born by the time this comes out.
Hopefully now it'll be good time. I need a break.
Hopefully you're set up into a point where you know you can do that, and then think about when the business copes without you in here,
Yeah.
or in it, and that I think this is for anyone that's in business. Like, if the business can cope without you, how long do you need to be in or on that business?
Yeah.
Like, can you just start enjoying more time? Whether you sell the business or whether you are a partner in it or you own it and you're just funding it, like, how much? And that's the goal that I'm going to have. Every business that I've had before, and I say every business, it's one business, it's me. As a freelance videographer, editor, I'm always in the business. So when do I get to the point that I'm no longer in the business, I am running a business, I'm doing something that I enjoy, because I will be doing a lot more teaching of videography,
100%,
a lot more training of podcasts and stuff like that. And that's something that I'm hoping to develop now. The next stage now is our community, a podcast community. How what do people want to be able to develop it? So more people like you come here, use space, hit 1 or 2 buttons and go, that's my episode done. And then the strategy and stuff, we can teach that.
Yeah. I think it's really scary to think about that for the first 2 years of your business, isn't it? Well, any type of business, I guess. I don't know how long. It just takes time to evolve, doesn't it, really?
I'm a very lazy, and I had kids.
Quickly.
I had kids growing up. Like, we went into business with newborn children, and our business was very much devoted to spend time with them. So I've been to every sports day. I've been to every show. The only thing I missed was actually my second son being born, because I was at a wedding. And they booked me 2 years ago, where he was only booked 9 months before. So
that's crazy.
So that's literally the only thing I've missed since being self-employed.
It's one of a commitment to a client, that is. Jesus, I love that.
They were telling me to go home as well. Like,
oh, really?
They're like, "Why are you here?" Well, the first question was, "How's the wife doing with the baby?" I was like, "Oh, she gave birth a few hours ago." I was like, "Why are you here?" I was like, "You booked me first, so I'm gonna be here."
This is the thing, though. The wedding, like. So much pressure on photographers and videographers, because if you're sick or something like that happens, like, you don't get a redo. Like, if the photographer or videographer doesn't turn up, you don't get that memory.
That's why a lot of people use agencies, because they know there's like a plan B, and a lot of photographers, they know other photographers.
They've got a network of backups, haven't they?
So anyway, thank you so much. I feel like this episode.
Well, I got my question.
Yeah, sorry. My question. Yes, of course you do.
If we could take away one of your fears, what would it be?
Oh, that is. So this is a fear that I'm trying to tackle this year. It's the fear of if it fails, because that stopped me from going to. But what if it works?
It's holding you back.
Yeah.
Think about the success, not the failure.
Yeah. What if everything goes to plan? Is what I need to do. So, like I say, growing up with kids, I've always had that doubt of going, but what if I can't feed them this week?
Yeah.
What if we can't do that activity? But now they're older, they're more independent, they don't like me that much. They love me, but they can cope without me. It's now about, instead of me going, what happens if I can't? It's like, what happens if I can? When I can, not even if. When.
Manifest.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then, what is the question you'd like to pass on to another guest? Or to us, because we might answer it.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Hairstyle routine? No.
Huh?
Just hair routine?
Yeah. If you could touch hair on your head. No. If you were looking back in 5 years' time, and this is a starting point for you for the next 5 years, what is success? What is winning?
So in 5 years' time?
When you look back, so right now, and you can answer it now if you want. I'd love to hear your answer. Right now, if 5 years from now, and you look back to this point, what is a success?
Look back. Oh, I see.
So you're
so reflecting.
Yeah.
I see. No, I like that. I won't answer it now. We're gonna answer it in a future.
You can answer
episode.
it off mic.
The listeners will have to come back. Sorry, guys. Ben, thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you.
It was amazing to hear your story. And thank you, listeners. And we'll see you in the next episode of The Rookie CEO. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye.